Okie dokie. Hey, Rebecca's here as well.
Hey,
happy Monday. How are you doing?
Happy Monday. All good. Like, I'm slightly shattered from the weekend, but we all know why, because of Find Your Brave, right? I'm like shattered with like love and joy and energy. Yeah, it was a great Friday. How are you?
Oh, really well, thank you. Again, still absolutely buzzing from Friday. Oh, thank you. Chrissy's saying she loved the Find Your Brave in person event on Friday. We had such a good day. Do you know what? It was so amazing to see amazing women showing up, being vulnerable, and really, really being honest and making that pledge to grow their confidence, find that brave, go and do that thing that they've got to do. Oh, Kavita, you're coming next year. 100%. Yay!
Let's bring the unlikely mummy to London. Fantastic. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Do you know, we're still on such a high, aren't we, from it? Sorry, just one second, just fiddling around with my checking that my AirPods are connected here. No, I didn't think they were. Sorry, let me connect my AirPods and then everything should be fine with the sound and we shouldn't get any interference. Keep chatting with that while I'm doing while my AirPods.
Those people that are watching over on Facebook and Instagram. So if Sarah and I are slightly out of sync, that is why. Let me see if I can reconnect her back over on this end.
Sorry, I'm back. I'm here. I'm without AirPods. Don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to keep talking and hope that that we don't get too much sound interference. But I think you guys can hear me fine, because otherwise you tell me if you couldn't. So
I'm back.
We'll take that as a win. You're back. Okay, that was it.
That was fun.
That was fun. So go on, Rebecca. I know we're like chatting away here. We're chatting away because we feel, obviously, we know you guys who've joined us on Instagram. But if there's anybody joining who doesn't know us, let us introduce ourselves properly today. So go on, Rebecca. Let it be your turn to do the intro.
Good practice for those people that are trying to introduce themselves. So we are Rebecca, Sarah, Bramall, or I am. We're both ICF and accredited transformation and mindset coaches. We're both leadership programming, discussion and behaviour, both female teachers, and we work with female professionals, female entrepreneurs, helping them to thrive in all areas of their life so that they can really live a life of happiness and healthy and fulfilled lifestyles. So we do this via one-to-one coaching, via our Catalyst membership, in-person events such as Find Your Brave Live, which just kicked off on Friday, and group programs coming your way. And we absolutely love the community that we're building. We love what we do. And we are super excited to enter into 2023 with more exciting stuff coming our way.
100%. Great introduction. Thank you. And can I just say to those of you watching today, I am in a funny location today. I'm in my parents' spare bedroom in their flats because the building work is going on at home, so I had to leave today. But hence, sorry, I look like a ghost because my lighting's not quite right, and I'm just all a bit of a struggle today. So just excuse me and bear with me today. I'm trying to position myself. Might try turning it off actually and see.
That's real life. Real life, right? And so I am at the other side with my little one in the chair. So if he comes on screen, I'm going to give you a bit of baby spam, but hopefully he's good and he's chilled. And you can tell I'm downstairs because that is what balance is about. It's about trying to make things work that make us happy and that keep us ticking along. So this is Sarah and I today showing up authentically as we are.
Brilliant. And welcome to those of you joining us, and come on and say hi and let us know how your Monday is going. Right, okay, let's get focused. I'm sitting up straight. Let's get focused. Let's get talking about imposter syndrome. So how to manage imposter syndrome. I guess, first of all, it probably would be good if we start by clarifying what we mean when we talk about imposter syndrome. And for me, the easiest way to describe it is my experience of imposter syndrome before I knew that it had a name and before I knew that anybody else suffered from imposter syndrome. When I was in teaching, so I went straight into teaching in my very early 20s. I was promoted really quickly. And I used to imagine, and it was a very, very real fear for me, that I would be walking down the school corridor and that the head teacher would come up behind me and tap me on the shoulder and go, "I'm really sorry, Sarah, we've made a mistake. Like, we found out that you're not actually like qualified and you really shouldn't be here. And what this means is that we're going to have to take away your position from you. And actually, furthermore, you shouldn't really be in teaching either." And in my imagination, that fear was so real that it looked for me like I wasn't going to be able to continue my teaching career. Just bear with Rebecca while she's dealing with the baby. Now,
whilst I'm babying the baby on.
Bias. Here he is. First Catalyst Live.
Let's not get everyone distracted by the baby spam. We're all about imposter syndrome today, but have a cheeky look. Carry on, Sarah.
So that was very, very real. Now, I thought that I was alone in that fear, and I thought it was only me that thought those thoughts because I'd never read anything about it. I'd never spoken to anybody about it. I felt really ashamed that I felt like that because I kind of felt that it was a ridiculous way to think and to feel, but I didn't know that anybody else felt like that until one day, sitting in the office after work doing my marking. Rebecca and I both ex-English teachers, doing my marking after school, and my lovely colleague was sitting next to me, male colleague sat next to me, and he just stopped, he just put his pen down, stopped his marking, and he went, "Oh," he goes, "do you know what? I just cannot get over this thought, this kind of fear that somebody's going to turn around to me one of these days and say, 'Hey, you shouldn't be here. Like, we found out you're a fraud and you don't deserve to be here.'" And when he said that to me, I was like, oh my goodness, I thought it was just me that thought that, and it was just me that felt like that. Now, what I know all of these years later is that is imposter syndrome, that fear that somehow you've got somewhere, you don't deserve to be there, that somebody's going to find out that you're a fraud. So how do we start to manage that? The first thing is to recognize we're not alone, and start to have conversations. That's definitely step one. Rebecca, what would you say after that? How do we go about managing imposter syndrome?
So for me, I'm just going to rewind just a little bit for how it showed up for me recently. Yeah. And you would know about this. So we applied for something, didn't we? We applied to be global speakers for an event, and Sarah and I were like, whoa, like, literally, this is something that we would dream about doing. But there was a bit inside of me that was like, who do I think I am? Like, who do I think I am? And so how did we go about going for it? Because that was the thing. We could have stopped and said, do you know what? Nah, we're not quite there yet to applying for it. But we did, right? We went big, we went home, we applied for it, and now fingers crossed we're waiting. So how did we overcome that? We overcame that by looking at our strengths and looking at our experiences. And I think often we forget about what we've done, and we also forget that other people might not know what we know, but we assume that everyone knows it. So listing out your skills and listing out your experiences and your knowledge is key, because when you assess all the things you do know, it should help you to give you that extra boost of confidence to know, do you know what, actually, I do know my stuff. And actually, I do have things to share with other people in the world. So that's my first, I think, top tip, is encouraging yourself to kind of step into your brave, as we say, and assessing what you've learned over the years and not forgetting that as well. Mm-hmm. What about you?
No, that is really brilliant advice. I think, and you're really, and Rebecca, let me just share with you all. Rebecca
agrees. He's like, yes.
Really good at that. Really good at looking back, building the evidence, focusing on the strengths, and going for it. And her kind of catchphrase, if you like, is "Go big or go home." So you're really good, Rebecca, aren't you? You're really good though at going like, I'm not going to tell myself that I have to keep playing small. I'm going to go big or go home, and that's really empowering. So not being afraid to play big. I think the way that I deal with it is probably slightly different, and they're both very valuable. Both definitely take both of these things away with you. My way of dealing with it is to look at the fear response to. There's a brilliant book called by Susan Jeffers, which is called "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway," and I love the title of that book. I love that kind of concept. To know that when I hear that voice or I feel those feelings of like, what are you doing? You shouldn't be here. Who do you think you are? All of that stuff. To know it's just the voice of fear that's speaking to me, and actually that voice of fear is just trying to keep me safe from danger, and being able to look at that voice of fear and go, do you know what? It's okay. Like, or thinking, okay, well, what's the worst that could happen? Or thinking, actually, it's okay because I recognize my life isn't in danger. My body's telling me my life might be in danger and I'm getting those fight or flight feelings and I want to run away and hide. But actually, my life isn't in danger and it's okay. It's safe for me to do this. And actually, if I don't do things that scare me, I'm not going to grow.
Yeah.
And so that's it. That's the trade-off.
Do you know what? For me, the most scariest thing for me is the not doing it and then not knowing. Like, it's that unknown of like, oh, what if? I don't like that feeling, that what if feeling. So I always think to myself, what if I don't like apply for that job or apply for that contract? Like, what if I fall off the stage, in the middle of a keynote speech, which actually has never happened. But it's that fear response of me going, that could potentially happen. That fear of embarrassing myself. But I'm like, what if? And actually, what's also funny is that people say when I speak and when they see me that I don't come across as being nervous, like feeling nervous. And I'm like, oh gosh, if only you knew that my heart was racing at 1,000,000 miles per hour and that my feet were shaking. You know, Sarah, how I feel when I go into like really like moments, right? If only you knew. But when you do it once, you can do it again. And again, and each time you do it, you get stronger, you get better, and you become more fearless, right? It's not about ignoring the fear. We shared this on Friday. It's about stepping into that fear and then just enjoying the magic that happens from that.
Such great advice, Rebecca. And and having kind of worked alongside you now for a couple of years, and I look back at the things that we've done, the crazy stuff that we've done, both in person and in the online world, and seeing the response from you, I think, wow, good on you, because you've got the determination and the bravery to go, okay, I do feel really scared and my body is kicking off and telling me to be scared, but actually I'm not going to let it get the better of me. I'm going to do it anyway. And if I think about all the crazy stuff that we've done and what could have happened if you'd said, oh no, I'm not doing that, Sarah, because it's too scary, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today. Hey, Alina.
Oh, Alina, lovely to see you. We've got a few people joining today. We've got Mohammed, Alina, Maxine, Bex on the beach. Lovely to see everybody.
Great to see you. So again, great advice. Feel that fear. Do it anyway, and also I think the message that you're giving there, which is a brilliant message, is don't look at other people and assume that it's easy for them, because the only way that any of us get anywhere is by pushing through that fear and doing it and showing up anyway. So again, that's my catchphrase: keep showing up. So with the imposter, with this voice of the imposter, some of you will have heard me share this before, but I love to share this message. It really helps to personify, to give the imposter a kind of character. It sounds slightly crazy, but bear with me. When you turn it into a character, so you kind of give it a little character, give it like a name and give it like a persona, it really helps, because then you can talk back to it. Because otherwise that really kind of sometimes can be very unkind voice, right, that we have in our heads, like, who are you, why are you doing this, you're stupid, all that stuff. When you can characterize or give that that voice, the persona, you can talk back to it and you can say, hey, wow, thanks for the warning about the fact that this might be a scary situation. But do you know what? I'm going to choose to not let you stop me doing this. I'm going to choose to show up. I'm going to choose to do this. And also not to get into too much of a battle with your character of your imposter syndrome. Mine's called Brian. Some of you will know. I like to get him out, give him a little pat on the back, my little gremlin, give it a little stroke and say, hey, I've got this. It's okay. Because I know you're just trying to keep me safe. You're just saying, hey, don't do that crazy thing, Sarah, because you'll be safer at home on the sofa with a packet of biscuits. And I have to just go, well, yeah, thanks for that. Cheers. But actually, I'm going to do this thing anyway. If you don't do this thing, as you say, Rebecca, the regret is going to be there. And the regret, as Shah, one of our mentors says, Shah says, regret weighs heavier than fear. And that's always in my mind as well.
And if you ignore it, we all know, and Sarah and I know, but we'll share it with you, that it gets louder, it gets stronger, it intensifies. So that fear will then come up again and again until we acknowledge it. So acknowledge your Brian, or as I would do, and this is another technique, is adopting the characteristics of somebody who already is like that most confident version that you want to become. So mine's Beyonce over here, but back in the day I used to have like this phoenix, right? This alter ego, this fiery character that could just take on the world, and I would adopt and channel that. And so when I would walk into a meeting or when I would step into doing a presentation, that would be the persona that I adopted. This person was fearless. Like it was Rebecca, but it was Phoenix Rebecca, right? And I would step out and the adrenaline that I had used to channel that alter ego, geez, that came down really quickly. And I was like, wow, like I've just done that. Like I've done it with clarity and with confidence and with assurance. And that's another strategy that you can use. Hey to Mariana over on Facebook. What strategies do you guys use? We've got a few people over on Instagram today.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you do. I love that strategy of the alter ego, though. It's a very powerful one. And there's a brilliant book actually written on that by a man called Todd Herman called The Alter Ego Effect. And you mentioned, you know, that you use Beyonce, but of course, Beyonce herself had that alter ego, that character of Sasha Fierce, didn't she? That enabled her to step into what we now see as Beyonce, but she hasn't always been the Beyonce that we see in front of us now.
No. So we have given you a lot of top tips today, and I'm hoping that that will help you when you are trying to find your brave, when you're trying to do something different, when you're trying to change or, you know, heighten your skills, your abilities. We have something coming up for you, don't we, Sarah?
We do. Drum roll, drum roll.
Drum roll.
We have got a free masterclass coming up, which is all about making a change. So it's called the Catalyst Guide to Making a Change. So if you're ready to make a change, or if you've been thinking about making a change, or there's a little part of you that thinks I want to change something, then this is the masterclass for you. So it's all about making a change, how we did it, and how you can do it as well. And we will be talking you through in that masterclass the strategies and the sort of the science behind change, so that you can get that clarity that you need, you can get the motivation that you need in order to go through that process of change. So that's next Tuesday, the 22nd of November, starting at 4 p.m. So it's 4 p.m. until 5:30. And the sign up, if you're on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, you can see it in the banner below. On Insta, go to our link in bio. It's bit.ly/the Change Masterclass. We would love to see you there. Now, lots of you have signed up already, but we'd love to have you come over and join us there. To learn more about this stuff, you're interested in mindset, you're interested in confidence, you're interested in your personal, your professional development, 100% that is the masterclass for you. So we look forward to seeing you.
And just to add to that, actually, we had an email this morning from somebody. So if you sign up via the ICF website, it has a 1 hour CCE point for you as well. So if you want the direct link for that, just let us know. And then we will confirm your attendance via an email to let them know that you've attended, so that you can use that towards any reaccreditation that you want to embark on as well. And if you're a teacher, or if you're a leader or a manager, and you want your colleagues and your staff to do this too, send them the link, let them join up and show them that you are actually investing in their development too, and that you respect that need for growth and change as well.
Wonderful. Okay, we are just under the 20-minute mark. We can both talk a lot, so we have to rein ourselves in. We're going to start. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching later on replay, let us know, what are your tips for managing imposter syndrome? Let's share the love. Let's help each other today. All right, take care, everybody. Thank you for being here.